Alles klar.
Betty was such a good singer.
It's true. Did she have any problem with her throat?
Yes,
Genau wie die
she had to be
andere.
careful with her voice. Of course, she didn't follow the doctor's advice. If Don didn't insist, she... Well, it's too late for all that now.
Dons? Wo ist sie? Betty weiter befragen. Nicht Betty, die ist ja tot. Sie befragen wir weiter.
Looks like this woman is single, but she has feelings for someone.
Mhm. Feuchter Blick. Betty und Donald. Sie ist schwer am Atmen. Keine Verbindung. Okay.
She's looking so intensely at this photo. But is it really a sister that she's studying in this manner?
Ich kann es ja nie sagen. Was hat Betty an ihrem Abend vor? Uns fehlen da noch 2 Sachen.
They made the perfect couple, am I correct?
Yes, in a way. She was pretty and he...
Well,
Ja.
He's a bright man, with a promising career ahead of him. He would have made Betty a good husband. He was always attentive and generous. Oh, a true gentleman.
Mhm.
I hear a note of envy in your voice.
You must have heard wrong.
Aha.
Donald appeared to be very much in love with your sister.
Yes, he was mad about her.
Mad, you say? Being madly in love can often be destructive, and Mr. Fraser was known for being jealous, I believe.
No more than average. Men are always slightly possessive, especially when they are with a pretty woman.
I am not your enemy, Mademoiselle Bernard.
And you are not my friend either, Mr.
Okay,
Poirot,
sorry,
sir.
ey. Ich will mal voll nett sein und dann kommen die
but
mir
your
alle
eyes
voll
are not
kacke.
helping Mr. Fraser, or you for that matter. I know that Fraser was jealous, but I wonder why you feel the need to protect him.
Protect him? I hope you're not suggesting...
That you are Fraser's accomplice? There is nothing to suggest that.
No
at least not
way!
yet. It would appear that your sister's murder is the second in a series that we have to stop as quickly as possible. The first was in Andover, and the same as your sister, the murderer sent me a letter informing me that a crime would be committed in that town. Now can I count on your honesty?
Yes, you have my confidence, Mr. Poirot.
Oh, yeah.
Don is a quiet and sensitive young man. Slightly reserved, too. And as is often the case with reserved people, when he flew into a temper, he completely lost control.
Mhm.
He could be so violent. Betty was frightened.
And when was this?
The first time was about a year ago. But they rowed more recently. Donald found out that Betty had lied to him. She said she was going out with a girlfriend, but she went out for dinner with a married man.
Dieser andere Typ vom Brief.
It was an awful scene. She told him that until they were married, she was free to go with whoever she pleased. Donald turned quite pale and started shaking and kept saying one day...
Mhm.
Well?
he'd commit murder.
Do you think that is what happened?
No, Mr. Poirot, I don't believe that. You yourself said he may be a recidivist madman. Don loved Betty with all his heart. I can't imagine for one instant that he would hurt her.
Mhm.
Very good, Mademoiselle Barnard.
Très bien.
Thank you for your help.
Fraser is at the Ginger Cat. The police haven't spoken to him,
Megan
but they
Schimmer
want...
ist so.
Très bien, Hastings. Let's see him now. Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Oh Gott, ganz
My
viel
deepest
Katze.
condolences to your parents.
Of course, Mr. Poirot.
Poirot.
And don't be too hard on Don. He's more fragile than he looks.
Ja, ja.
If you say so.
Die ist auch in love with
Let us
dem,
now
ey.
try and get our brain cells to work.
Yes. Was hatte Betty an ihrem Abend vor? Sie ging mit anderen Männern aus. Nee. Betty hatte Donald angelogen, weil sie eine Verabredung mit einem anderen Mann hatte. Kannte Betty ihren Angreifer? Upsi. Scheiße. Entschuldigung. Der Mann hat Betty verführt, bevor er sie zum Strand geführt hat, wo er sie dann erdrosselt hat.
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Weitere Frage. Was versteckt sich hinter Megan Bernards Verhalten? Das Opfer war eine hübsche Frau. Betty ging neben Donald mit anderen Männern aus. Megan hat sich das Foto von Donald und Betty angesehen. Megan wird zur einzigen Erbin. Megan verehrt ihre Schwester. Megan ist eine intelligente Frau. Megan mochte Donald Fraser sehr. Hat eine Schwäche für Donald. Hatte Megan Bernard ein Motiv, um ihre Schwester zu ermorden? Opfer war eine hübsche Frau. Sie ging mit mehreren Männern aus. Megan war eifersüchtig auf Betty. Megan. Donald Fraser befragen ist unsere nächste Aufgabe. Sie arbeitet in London. Sie mochte ihre Schwester sehr, auch wenn sie ihr Verhalten Donald Fraser gegenüber nicht gut hieß. Hatte Donald ein Motiv für den Mord an Betty? So sieht er aus. Aber wir ihn jetzt erstmal befragen und dann können wir das wahrscheinlich lüften, das Geheimnis. Ich bin gespannt.
You've seen Fraser, Hastings. What is your feeling?
He's a big chap. Fragile isn't exactly the word that springs to mind.
Okay.
I talked to his landlady before seeing him. She went to bed at 11. Fraser wasn't home yet.
Bien. Megan Barnard said he is a reserved character but with a nasty temper. We will see if this is the case.
Oui. Excuse me, I'm a little bit tired. Der Energy Drink wirkt irgendwie gar nicht. Liegt wohl daran, dass der Zucker frei ist. Miniatur, sich und bla 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 bla. Wir gehen mal rein. Da bin ich mal gespannt. Rustikaler Beichtstuhl. Da ist er ja. Oh, stopp.
How do you do, Mr. Fraser?
You Hercule Poirot?
Oui.
Mr. Hastings said you wanted to speak to me.
Yes. I know that it may not be the right time, but I would like to ask you a few questions.
Ich kann den ja gleich... Achso. Erstmal angucken.
This man looks suspicious.
Augenringe. Verkrampfte Hand. White Horse Whiskey.
Leave me alone.
Hä? Chill mal. Zerknitterte Kleidung. Natürlich.
Donald Fraser is in a terrible state, as if he hadn't slept all night. And he's drinking White Horse.
Leave me alone.
Nö. Sprech jetzt erstmal mit ihm.
Tell me that it's a mistake. That Betty isn't dead.
Nö.
Sadly, your lady friend has been murdered, Mr. Fraser.
Oh, Betty, if only you'd listened.
Fragen, ob er Betty gestern Nachmittag gesehen hat. Sagen, dass Betty nur das tat, was ihr passte. Fragen, was geschehen wäre, wenn sie auf ihn gehört hätte.
If I have understood correctly, Betty was not the sort of person to listen to advice.
You're right. She always did as she pleased.
And what did she have in mind for yesterday evening?
She said she was having dinner with her sister.
Warum erläutern das ihre Schwester?
Yet,
Oder?
Megan only returned to Bexhill this morning, Mr. Fraser.
I didn't know.
Right. May I ask you what you were doing yesterday evening?
I spent the evening working.
Your colleagues can confirm this?
No, I often take work home with me.
Suspicious. Hervorheben, dass er kein Alibi hat, ihn beschuldigen zu lügen, wie es Betty getan hat.
Therefore, you have no alibi, Mr. Fraser.
That's right. But that doesn't make me a murderer, Mr. Poirot.
Poirot.
I would like you to leave now, please.
Nö.
Ah, I knew I'd find you here, Poirot. I thought the victim's young man was here.
Yes, is all yours, Chief Inspector. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Romanischer Beichtstuhl, okay. Hatte Donald ein Motiv für den War in Betty verliebt. Gewalttätiger Mann. Donald hatte ein Motiv, um Betty zu ermorden, und zwar Eifersucht. Hat Donald ein Alibi? Donald hat kein Alibi. Donald hätte am Strand sein und Betty ermorden können. Hatte Donald ein Motiv für alle Morde? Nee. Donald hat vielleicht Betty ermordet, aber er hat kein Motiv für den Mord an Mrs. Asher. Richtig. Synapse. An den Tatort zurückkehren. Donald Fraser in seinen 30ern. Er ist Betty, Bernards Verlobter. Er hat kein Alibi für den Abend des Mordes. Er war eifersüchtig und brauste leicht auf. Er mag Whitehorse Whisky. Entschuldigung. Wir kehren an den Tatort zurück.
Fraser doesn't have an alibi and he's extremely jealous.
You are very skilled at summing up.
And yet you haven't asked Jap to arrest him.
It is too soon. But I agree, without the letters announcing the crimes, Fraser would already be behind bars.
Très bien.
Bon, I think we have enough
C'est bon.
evidence. Let's reconstruct the events at the scene of the crime.
Ja.
I can't imagine how the murderer wasn't seen, though. Surely she must have struggled.
Let us try and imagine the scene.
Hoffentlich packen wir das so gut wie die anderen. Rekonstruktion.
The killer and the victim are walking on the beach. Miss Betty has a bag, a belt around her waist, and carries her shoes in her hand. Both of them walk slowly to hut number 5.
Sie gehen weiter.
Both of them walk slowly to hut number 6.
Ändern.
Miss Betty enters the hut. She leaves without her belongings. Then she hides a code.
Ah. Ich würde jetzt noch mal
They keep
fortschreiten.
walking. Then she removes her belt.
Oh ja. Oh,
The murderer moves behind her and then attacks her by surprise.
Blech.
The body falls, lifeless, on the sand.
Tot.
Everything appears to match the crime scene, mon cher Hastings. That is exactly what happened.
Wir sind so gut. Reconstruction, Erfolg. Très bon, très bon.
Without the ABC, we might have suspected Mr. Asher and Mr. Fraser. But by signing his crimes, the murderer is making sure he's accused. In a way, it is very generous of him.
Generous? The murderer seduced Betty in order to lure her to the beach and kill her.
Indeed, the young woman was certainly careless, but not stupid enough to follow a stranger.
Tja.
What are you planning to do, Poirot?
Return to London, mon cher Hastings.
Ach, nach London zurückfahren. Der ist ein kleiner Krebsi. Wir fahren zurück. Die Ermittlung klärt sich auf. Romanischer Beichtstuhl, yes.
Right, back to London. There is nothing more for us to do here.
Jap has decided to reveal details to the press. The alphabet murder is now famous.
Na toll.
It is not a bad idea. The more people who know, the greater our chances of finding out something of interest.
Poirot, I have a bad feeling.
Noch ein Brief.
Poor Mr. Poirot, not so good at these little criminal matters as you thought yourself, are you? Rather past your prime, perhaps. Let us see if you can do any better this time.
Churston.
This time, it's an easy one. Churston on the 30th. Do try and do something about it. It's a bit dull having it all my own way, you know. Good hunting. Ever yours, ABC. Good hunting. Did you hear that, Poirot? The murderer seems to be taking it all as a game, a challenge. He will strike on 30th in Churston. We must warn Scotland Yard. No time to lose. We must prepare our suitcases for Churston.
Mon Dieu, it is already 10 o'clock. I will call Scotland Yard immediately.
15 Ego-Punkte, krass.
Hello, Jap. We received a new letter from ABC in the 10 o'clock post.
Where and when?
In Churston. Today.
Today? I'll inform the population immediately.
I'll check the train times. Call me back.
So, jetzt müssen wir nämlich... Hier haben wir nämlich unser ABC-Buch. Da schauen wir jetzt erstmal rein.
Excellency, Sussex.
Hastings Hunting.
Hastings' photo album. He is very proud of his bag.
Hä? Die Reise nach Churston vorbereiten, okay.
Hastings, what you are doing is an absolute disaster. That is no way to pack suitcases.
Heavens, we must hurry. We have to get to Churston before the murder.
Right.
You're right, Hastings. It is an emergency.
At last, Poirot, you're being reasonable.
Ich keine Ego-Punkte, wa?
You were right.
Da wollte ich doch reingucken.
I've just consulted the ABC guide. There's no hurry. The next train doesn't leave till 11:45.
You see, there is no need to hurry. We will not be in Churston until tomorrow morning, after the murder.
But why has the murderer warned us so late? It's not what he usually does. Did he do it on purpose?
Very good question, Hastings. We should also compare the letter we have just received with the other two, although I have very little doubt about what we will find.
Aber mal vergleichen. Vielleicht ist es ein Trittbrettfahrer.
It is not a good time.
Hey, ich soll die doch
It is not a
vergleichen.
good time. Poor Mr. Poirot. Not so good.
Leider ist der Brief zu spät bei uns angekommen.
It is not a good time.
Hä? Ich habe da doch auch die Briefe.
It is not a good time. Ah, some cool hair. I do not need to make a telephone call at the moment.
Wo sind die anderen Briefe, Bro? Achso, ja, haben wir jetzt einen zweiten.
Daily Flicker, July 30, 1935. ABC affair, no progress. The alphabet murderer is still on the run. Ever since the police found the connection between the Bexhill and Andover affairs, the inquiry has barely progressed. In this issue, we are publishing provocative letters sent by the killer to Hercule Poirot. Unfortunately, they have not yet helped to find him. Daily Flicker, July the 26th, 1935. The Bexhill Horror. Young maid strangled on the beach.
Aha.
Killer struck at midnight.
Struck. At midnight. Wo sind jetzt die Briefe?
Hastings, it would appear that you are getting slightly thin on top.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
In his haste, Hastings tore the envelope.
Toll. Die Adresse auf dem Umschlag ist falsch. Der Mörder hat Weishort Horse Mansion geschrieben. Ist es ein Fehler? Hastings hat den Umschlag zerrissen, in dem der Brief des Mörders steckte. Er hätte ihn wenigstens nicht auf den Boden werfen müssen. Jetzt können wir erst,
Right.
okay.
Let us compare this new letter with the second one.
Mhm.
Let us examine this more closely. Certain characters in the two letters may have similar defects.
Ui.
Yes, this I is weird.
Like this.
Yes, the I characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects.
Das
I
A.
have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
Genau. Deswegen hier auch das A.
Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual.
Like there.
That's right. The A characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
Das W. Meisterdetektivin Jasmin merkt auch alles. Oha.
The
oh
W
ja,
is not
wollte ich sagen.
printed properly.
Auf jeden Fall hier.
Of course, the W characters in the two letters do
Of
indeed
course.
have the same defects. My theory was right. These two letters were written with the same
Aber
typewriter.
sowas von. Oh,
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
ja. Das mag ich voll gerne. Warum kommt die Benachrichtigung des Mörders so spät? Laut dem Mörder befindet es wirklich, der Brief wurde am richtigen Datum versandt. Falsche Adresse. Der Brief wurde wegen einer fehlerhaften Adresse zu spät zugestellt.
The letter should have arrived in time. The postmark shows that it was sent 3 days ago. However, our man made a mistake in the address, which explains the delay. All the same, the post office took their time correcting the error.
Come on, Poirot. Your address is not quite as well known as that of Scotland Yard.
Ja. Wir gehen schnell. Das ist Scotland Yard bestimmt. Jep.
I have some news from Churchton. Bad news, I'm afraid. Sir Carmichael Clark was murdered while out on his evening walk.
Sir Carmichael Clark. The name is familiar to me.
He was a famous throat specialist, one of the best in London. A wealthy man, he retired to Combside, a beautiful house by the sea. He collected antiques.
Are you going there?
Yes, let's meet on the train.
Okay. Oh. Churchton, wie auch immer. I don't know. Sieht auf wie Croft Manor. Uff.
The victim is called Sir Carmichael Clark, one of the best throat specialists in London. The body was still warm when we found it. If we'd been warned earlier, we definitely could have saved him.
But,
It appears that the murderer made a mistake when he wrote his letter.
A mistake? Lucky for him.
right.
And what if he did it on purpose?
No. He's defined his madcap rules and he's sticking to them. It's a matter of pride for him. Shall we go up to the house, Poirot?
Boah, will erst ja
You go,
wissen.
my friends. I will come soon.
Gehen Sie, mes amis. Okay, und genau hier werde ich jetzt Schluss machen für heute, denn ich werde langsam echt müde. Und wir sehen uns ja direkt schon wieder morgen. 45%. Okay. So. Oh. Für YouTube. Bis zur nächsten Folge, Part, wie auch immer, wenn ich das hochladen sollte. Bis dahin, macht's gut und Dankeschön fürs Zuschauen. Bye, bye.